everybody, it's your girl Chevy Red, and you are now locked into another episode of Chevy's Red Corner. And listen, this one is so special to me, okay? Y'all know how I feel about the ladies. You know how we represent for the ladies in boxing. And this woman that is coming on today, listen, is one of the top in boxing, okay? And she is the new WBO Featherweight Champion of the world. So go ahead and take a second. Thank you everybody for coming in, who's joining in. Take a second, go ahead and share the video, and we are going to get her in just a second. So real quick, some shout outs already. Tommy, what's going on? Antonio, thank you for joining the live. Listen, make sure you guys go ahead and follow me as well. If you are new to Chevy's Red Corner, go ahead and follow and stay up to date because I interview a lot of your favorite boxers. So y'all, I'm super excited for this one. Like, I haven't been nervous to do an interview in a little bit. I'm a little bit nervous right here because this is a big deal. All right, so make sure you guys go ahead and share the live. And I'm going to go in here in just a second. Tiara, can you go ahead and drop a comment for me? I find that if I send you the request, it works better. She is in here, y'all. Listen, we are about to be in the presence of greatness. Okay, I'm super excited. Yes. Hey, Miss Corey. All right, we're going to go ahead and get her in here. Oh, Instagram gods, be nice to me today. Yes. Girl, listen, because Instagram be playing with me. Okay, they be playing with me. Like, not today.
Not today. Not today.
What's up, champion? Listen, with the belt. Come on.
Got the belt for you.
Listen, if you guys are not familiar, this is the new WBO Featherweight Champion of the world, okay? Tiara Brown. Listen, we're going to jump right into it, champ, okay? Because I need all the feels. I need to get in your mind of fight night and a little bit more, okay? So, first of all, how does it feel to be the new?
You know, it feels great. I don't think it all hit me yet, because I'm still recovering from jet lag from coming from Australia. So, you know, but it feels good to keep hearing people say it. And the new.
Listen, the new. That has to be. Oh, well, girl, I'm gonna get to that moment, okay? Because I'm gonna ask you about that moment. All right. So, take me to fight night. I always like to try to get the atmosphere, the mood of fight night. So when you're back there in the locker room, what is the mood in your locker room? What music's playing? Anything playing? Y'all in there yelling, hyped up? What is the mood in the locker room?
For the most part, right? I don't like talking in the back. It's something about, it's like I'm so dead locked in that my mind, it won't even allow me to just even speak. I just have like it's like the quiet, the eye of a storm. You know, it's like the eye of the storm. And then when I start warming up, that's when it's like, okay, yeah.
Then you get into that, you get into that groove, huh? Listen, the eye of the storm, that is a perfect analogy of that because that's when it's quiet, and that's the scariest part right there. That is, listen, come on. All right, so now it's time to walk out to the ring. You in there, you coming out, you doing your ring walk. What is going through your mind as you are coming down the walkway?
So you saw me in the tunnel, right? You saw me how I was swaying back and forth. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I felt like my ancestors were entering to my spirit. I felt like my ancestors were like, you know, in the movie Wakanda when he died, and he was like, they buried him, and he was in the presence of his ancestors. Right. Like that's what I felt because they were booing me so loud. When I tell you they were booing me so loud, the entire stadium, I heard all the boo, boo, boo. But I was like this. And even though I heard the boos, and like in one ear, I was hearing boos, but in another ear, I was hearing chanting from my ancestors. Like that's what I was feeling in my spirit, in my body. And I was just like, And when that beat dropped, I was like,
Oh,
yeah, it's time to go.
oh, man. Oh, girl, listen, I
Let's
got
go.
chills. I can
Let's
feel
go.
that. Like,
Let's go.
ooh, let's go.
Let's
Listen.
go.
All right. So we continuing with the feels because I'm trying to get the people to, the real feelings and emotion behind it. Now you're in the ring. All right. Round one is about to start. That bell hits. Boom, you come out. Girl, what's in your mind? Like, what is the first thing you say? Do you say anything? Do you?
When that bell went off, it's like I blacked out, right?
Uh-huh.
Because I was so deadlocked, focused on her. It's like I was in autopilot.
Mm.
Because you know the Dark Menace came out. The Dark Menace came out, and it was like
Oh.
all that stuff you've been saying about me for the past 2 years, telling me I'm nothing, I've never done anything, I'm irrelevant, I'm so far down in the rankings that why would you even be thinking about me? Just all of that just came, and it was like boom, that bell went off. Yeah, you about to have to stand on that.
Listen, that dog. Ooh, y'all, I'm sorry. Y'all see me over here just smiling at you. I'm so excited for this interview right now. Like, thank you so much. So with that being said, when you are fighting, now, y'all know when we fighting in the hood back in the day, we fight, we like beat, we saying stuff, we calling
Damn.
names. Are you doing that when you're in the ring? Like, what's coming out when you're in there? Are y'all talking to each other? She talking to you?
So the
What's
only
going
thing
on?
was she kept holding me. You know, she kept holding me, and it's like I'm trying to get in my groove, but she keep holding me. So I remember at one point she had me like deadlocked. So I was like, get off me. You know, like, come on, man, we got to get these fans a fight. You're holding on. Like, stop doing that.
Mm-hmm. And somebody, it just as you were saying that somebody said
Yeah.
Skye was holding the whole fight.
Yeah.
Now, when they do that, when your opponent is holding you and that builds frustration, does that take you out of your groove? I mean, do you start fighting off of emotion then, or you're
No,
able to just
because
handle
see,
that in?
first of all, no one has ever held me as much as that.
Mm-hmm.
No one has
You want to try to lose
ever.
that belt,
She
girl?
went. She. I'm talking about. She held me on like a lace front.
Oh.
Yeah, she was holding tight, and it's like, come on, I'm trying to get off my combination. She just kept holding, yeah, like they say, those uppercuts were clean. Yeah, I was trying to step back, hit her with the uppercut. But I knew to stay composed because we were in Australia. I didn't want to do anything that would make the referee or those judges
Right.
mad with me.
Right. Because the odds are already stacked against you. And
Yeah.
so that made the win in the way that you won with who gave the deciding card, which
That
was the
Australian
Australian judge.
judge.
Hold on, I'm gonna get to that in a second. Hold on. So now we done fast forward through the fight. The fight, it let's say we're like in the last rounds. In your mind, in your spirit, you feel you have done enough to win the belt.
In my mind, I'm winning the entire fight. Like, I would say maybe I would give her 2 or 3 at the max. So when I'm listening to that first score, I'm like, no. But then my coach was like, he was getting angry because he's like, oh my gosh, they're about to try some sneak stuff. But I turned around to him. I said, calm down. I said, it's going to be okay because God had already showed me that we were going to win, right? And he had already showed me that it's going to be some adversity. But at the end of the day, they're going to raise your hand and you're going to give victory and glorify my name. He had already told me that.
Listen, and in the corner, y'all did that because, baby, I was there with y'all. Listen, the energy in your corner when... hold on. Okay. Now let's get to that moment. Okay. The moment the announcer says, and the new, what is the first emotion that you feel? Of course, besides happy, okay? Don't get me happy. What else? Did you feel relief? Did you feel like in y'all face? Like, what was the initial thought?
My initial feeling was like, I knew God was going to do this. He did it. He did it. Like, glorify him. He did it. He did what he said he was going to do. He did it. And he used the Australian judge to do it. Like, he did it. He did it.
Crazy. Listen, that part right there, the deciding factor was the Australian judge there in the stadium that completely had you tuned out,
Hold up.
completely had you down and out. When I tell you the betting odds had me stuck, I'm like, what?
So,
Do y'all not know? Hold on, wait a minute. I did a
but I'm
video on
glad all those
everything.
people lost all that money and all my supporters won so much money.
Listen, because I did a video and somebody in the comments was like, listen, if you pay for $20 bet, you can win 4 times that, 5 times that. I'm like, listen, y'all better go ahead because she got that dog in her. Okay, she got that dog in her. And I want to talk about that a little bit later because, you know, you being a former police officer, that dog is something different. You know what I mean? So I'm going to get to that in a second. But
All
anyway,
right.
so I want to go ahead and touch on what you said about how, you know, Skye was saying that, like, you know, you were irrelevant, that, you know, your resume was not impressive, you know, things like that. And so real quick, I just want to go ahead and shine some light on that because they tripping, okay? And go ahead and give you your flowers. For me right now, this interview is giving you your flowers, showing you your props, and just being super excited for your accomplishments. So undefeated, first of all. They already talking like you got L's on the record.
Hell no.
Undefeated, over 50% knockout ratio. I think it's like 57 or something like that. Listen, that alone, okay? And then gold and bronze medalists at the AIBA World Champions, right? And then 3 gold medals in the USA Boxing Championships. I mean, how? How? Why? Okay, so let me ask you. So, why do you feel that so many people were trying to dismiss or belittle your resume and the accomplishments that you had?
I think because for 2 years, Skye, she just degraded me and my character and my resume. She talked so much to where people felt like they didn't have to do their own homework because they were listening to what she was saying, you know, and you can really damage someone's reputation, you know, if you're sitting here saying a bunch of bad things about them and people aren't doing their own due diligence. So the way she was talking about me was like I was trash. The fact that she said I have never done anything for the sport of boxing, I would assume the person she's talking about some trash too, you know, and I think that's what happened because some of her fans were going back and saying, hey, you said all this bad stuff about Tiara. You said she wasn't good. You said she was trash. Now you're on here saying other things, you know, it's like.
Right. Listen, I need somebody to. Hey, Skye, y'all people call my people. Let me ask the question. How she feel about that now? Because you know, to say things like that and then lose, that's got to be a whole nother level of
She said
heartbreak.
I
And
was old. She said that um, I'm weak. She's going to run circles around me. I have terrible footwork. She said so many things like.
yeah, it was a lot, you know, and social media also, like you said, people will take what one person says and just runs with it without doing their homework or looking at the background, you know, seeing the accomplishments. And I want to touch on that as far as social media and the negativity that you have been enduring. You know, you have been speaking, you know, out about the racism and negativity you've been experiencing. So do you feel, I want to ask this kind of like as a general question, do you feel Black women in the sport of boxing are just, you know, treated differently in general, you know, versus their counterparts in boxing?
I agree. And I say that because for 2 years, Skye talked down on me, right? And it took it took a long time for me to start replying to her on Twitter because I didn't even have a Twitter. But then people told me I should get a Twitter, and then they would send me stuff that she would say. So then when I started like talking back to her, commenting back, you know, now I'm the villain. When I see her face to face and I wanted her to stand on all the things that she said about me, now I'm the villain. Well, why is she all in her face? Or why is she going so hard? Or why is she doing it? I'm doing all this because for 2 years you talked so bad about me through social media. So now that I'm in your face, I need you to stand on it. I need you to stand on it because you said you was going to keep the same energy. And I told you I was too. The difference between you and I is I meant that. So I gave you the same energy that I was giving you on Instagram and on Twitter. You didn't give me the same energy, you know? And so it's like she was antagonizing me, wanting to make it seem like she is the victim when no, you said all these things about me that people on Instagram didn't see because you were saying it on Twitter, you know, or you were saying all these things about me on these podcasts that people didn't see because they didn't see the podcast. So now it looks like I'm the angry black woman. I'm not angry. I was never angry. I was never angry. And I was never angry because I was confident that this was coming home with me, see? So there was never a reason for me to be angry. But I was disappointed the fact that people are calling me nigger, telling me to go back to Africa, telling me I need to go back to the Congo and climb the trees, telling me all we do is eat watermelon. I was fed up and tired of people telling me all I'm good for is picking cotton and that Skye is going to be my slave master and I'm going to be out front working because that's what I do. You know, I was sick and tired of that. So everything that she said about me for the past 2 years, plus all of her fans, like I'm the coach for the Police Athletic League boxing team, right? My kids are 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I had people bullying my kids. I had grown men attacking my fighters. I'm talking about teenagers. Who does that? And these are your fans. You could have checked them. You could have checked them. But she didn't. She sat back and she was watching it, you know? And that's just, even now, right now, if you go to the comments of our Face Off Freedom, they're despicable. It's disgusting. This is a world where everybody's supposed to be treated equally. We know that's a lie, you know, but this is a sport. And the things that they're saying, I'm ugly. Oh, she's so black. She looked like a baboon. Where did the fact that people have the nerve to even speak like that, to even speak like that? But it was okay when she was saying all the type of things about me. But the moment I stood up for myself, I'm cocky. I'm arrogant. I'm ghetto. I'm unprofessional. But she can say whatever. She can say whatever she wants to say, and it's fine. And one person that pointed that out, it's an Australian promoter. He said on his Instagram, like, I've never seen a fighter be so attacked like Tiara Brown has been attacked in social media. You know, and he said, like, fighters do this all the time. They have never gotten what she's getting, and she doesn't deserve it. This is an Australian promoter saying this. And it's true. They want to paint me as the villain. I'm not the villain. I stood up for myself. But see, what we know is the plight of the black woman. When we stand up for ourselves, we're loud. We're aggressive. I'm not loud, nor am I aggressive. There's no aggression in me. But when that bell go off, you're going to get all the aggression. Yeah, this is a fight. And I sold the fight. I made the fight card. Everyone was telling me like it was dry until everyone was looking for me like, oh, she's going to amp it up, you know. And that's what I did. I took a fight card. From the first day, views started rising and rising and rising because of me, you know. And it's unfortunate that there are so many racist people that hide behind social media. They hide behind Instagram. They hide behind Twitter, Facebook, and they say all these wild things. To be called a nigger on Instagram and it not be flagged and it be okay, that's a problem.
That is a problem. And listen, I love that you brought up the promoter, because I was going to ask you, you know, were there any people within the boxing organizations that, you know, kind of stood up for you or had your back, or, you know, even reached out to you and said, hey, we see what's going on, you know, don't let that affect you or anything like that? You know, because I feel like, I don't mean to bring anybody else in here, but we know the other people that's using race for promotional purposes in boxing right now. And I think that it needs to be addressed because it's not okay. Like, that is not a promotional tool. This should not be a tool used to pick a side of a fight or anything like that, you know. So, you know, I'm glad that you brought that up and shine light on the Australian promoters. So shout out to whoever they are, you know, for doing it.
The Aussie promoter, shout out to the Aussie promoter, because whoever that is, they stand 10 toes for me. Shout out to Alexia, because she's been standing 10 toes for me. I mean, there are people who've been going to war for me. Alexia.apple, shout out, because she's one of them. You know, it's just sad that this is a sport. Why are you saying I'm ugly, I look like a baboon, Skye is beautiful, oh my gosh, she's so pretty? What does that have to do with boxing? I could be the ugliest person in the world, but I'm gonna get that win. And I'm ugly to you.
Right.
But my black is beautiful, and it's gonna always be beautiful. And I'm gonna always stand 10 toes down for that. Because if it wasn't beautiful, they wouldn't try to mimic it.
Oh, with them lace fronts.
Right. If it wasn't beautiful,
they're trying to copy the lace fronts.
They wouldn't try to mimic it. So let's just be real. I know I'm going to offend some people today, but that's fine and okay.
There you go. Listen, and that's okay. You know, we here speaking truth. This is real right here. Real emotion, real raw everything, you know, and hopefully more people will begin to step up, you know. And so with that being said, we're gonna leave that there. We're gonna let the people go ahead and rock out with you with that. And, you know, hopefully more of the platforms and media platforms like myself will get behind that and call that out because it's
It's
terrible.
not
It's
okay
not.
because you know what? If I don't call it out, what about the 13-year-old girl that looked like me, who's going through the same thing,
Mm-hmm.
who feels like, that's not okay. It's not okay.
It's not. Now, I want to go and kind of transition that into your service. And thank you for your service as a former police officer. Okay. Now, this is why when I did my videos and I was talking about the betting odds and all this and everybody counting you out, I'm like, listen, she got that dog in her. She is a former police officer, right? And you know, on the subject of racism and everything, you're a police officer during one of the hardest times in America, the movements, the
Hardest
Black
thing.
Lives movements, you know,
Yep.
the police brutality and everything. So I did want to ask you, I want to kind of compare those two because I'm sure as a police officer as well, you got a lot of negativity. You know, there were probably a lot of challenges in that time. So can you kind of compare how the negativity in the boxing world compares to that in the police field?
So there's always a plight, right? So I was a police officer for 7.5 years. When I was a police officer in DC, I was officer of the year out of 3,000 police officers. I won that award. I am the only African American female to ever win that
Amen.
award. So I take that with pride, but at the same time, when the Black Lives Matter started in DC, it was rough for me. It was rough because I was seeing a lot of things that were happening that were unjust. And I'm going to stand for the people always, regardless of who likes it. I took an oath to stand for the people. First of all, I took an oath for the Most High God. So that reigns supreme over everything. That
Mm-hmm.
reigns supreme over anything. And so it was terrible doing Black Lives Matter, standing up for the cause and being a police officer at the same time. I'm black at the end of the day. I'm black at the end of the day. My brother was gunned down in the streets, okay? I'm black at the end of the day. So I always went out my way above and beyond to make sure people knew, hey, I'm from the ghetto too. Like I can relate with you. And that's why people love me so much when I was a police officer, because they knew I feel what they feel. When they feel pain, I feel pain too. Period.
Yeah.
That's just how it went.
There it is right there, you know, and that's very important in the community, you know, to have that relationship with police officers. Actually, I was sitting in a pizza shop the other day and there's a school right across and there's always a bunch of students in the pizza shop, but then the cops come over and they eat with
Yep,
them. They talk with them.
absolutely.
You know, being familiar and just that statement as a whole, being familiar with people, getting to know people, don't pass judgment, don't continue the cycles of what you learned or what people are telling you, you know, get to know people, learn people, you know?
Learn
And
people.
so with that being said, I want to go ahead and dive a little bit real quick into who you are more as a person outside of boxing. What do you like to do outside of the ring?
Box.
I knew it.
But
I knew
I like eating.
Okay.
I love me some cupcakes, cookies. I said I
Let's
meant
do
what I
it
said
on
in it, man.
that.
I meant that. I meant that. But I like watching a lot of anime. I watch cartoons all day long. If I'm not training, I'm in the house. I'm a homebody. I like being, I like going to the beach. I like walking in the sand. I like walking in the grass. But I just like being home watching cartoons for real, for real.
Okay, listen. 'Cause I was doing that today with a bowl of cereal. I'm not
That's
even
it.
gonna
That's it.
lie.
Shout out to
So,
Sports Talk Official. That's
yes.
my guy.
Listen, I've been
That's my
trying to
guy.
keep up with the comments, but if I do, this
Trying
interview
to
gonna be like, I'm gonna be like, hold on, wait a minute, what was I asking? Hold on, listen, the distractions. But what's your favorite food besides the cookies? Well, maybe that's it. I've never had a box that say cookies and cupcakes.
They call me the Cookie Monster.
Oh
I don't
Lord, heaven.
play with it. Let me tell you how much my coach. Shout out to Hillcrest Boxing in PG County, Maryland. My coach, right, Ernesto Rodriguez. He's a retired police officer. So I live with him when I'm in training camp because he has a big house. So he doesn't even know. He's about to know now. But his kids be sneaking me cookies while I'm in training camp, and I always make weight. Like I was 1.5 pounds underweight, right?
Coach,
I love.
don't punish him, Coach.
Don't
Don't
punish
let him be.
them because I got the job done and I was underweight.
There
See,
you go.
so see, that's a game plan. It's a plan. It's a
It's a method to the madness. There
it's
you
a
go.
method.
Right.
It's a method to the madness, you know. But I love chocolate chip cookies. I do. I do.
Now, what's your favorite genre of music, or when you're training, you're working out? What music do you like to listen to?
I listen to all type of music. I listen to hip hop. I listen to gospel. I listen to rock. I listen to I listen to country. It just really depends on like the mood that I'm in.
The mood. I got you. So we're gonna take it back to some little boxing related questions. Who is your favorite fighter of all time? Present, past, one coming up, it doesn't matter. Who is your favorite? And you can't say yourself.
No. So, okay, it's such a hard question. My favorite female fighter of all times is Ann Wolf. Of all times.
Okay.
Ann Wolf. Ann Wolf came to see me fight twice at the USA National Championship. I was bugging out. So of all times, Ann Wolf is my favorite female boxer. Now, when it comes to men, there are just so many greats. Like I don't like to compare the old heads with the new heads because the old era of boxing, we will never have that again. You know, we'll never have that again. But I will say, like right now, my favorite fighter, who I watch him on YouTube always, all the time, just it's because of what he's done in and outside of the ring, right? Loma Chico. I love Loma Chico. He's such a humble dude, you know what I'm saying? This man went to war for his country just because he felt it was his civil duty, you know, as an active boxer. And that put me in the mind of Ali when he refused to go to war and got suspended for that long time. You know what I'm saying? This man went to war to save his people. It's a beautiful thing.
There you go, right there. Listen, if y'all didn't know that, now you know. Okay, again, getting to know the history, getting to know more about somebody is amazing. That is a
Shout out to
bomb.
entering Christine. I'll be on with her in like at 9 with Eastern Standard
Oh,
Time.
okay, there you go. Hey, girl, listen, I just recently connected with her. She is dope.
That's my girl. That's my girl.
And she's very knowledgeable.
For
Listen,
sure.
I hit her up like, hey.
Yeah, it's my girl.
So let's see. All right, let's get back to it, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get you out of here so you can get prepared for that. Now that you are the champion, okay, and everybody about to come for you. So I don't even think you need to list anybody because they all gonna come for you. But who would you like to fight next?
You know, I want to fight anybody with a belt. Anybody with the belt, because for them to have the belt, they had to have been doing something great. And I want to test myself against other great boxers. Regardless, it could be. I'm willing to fight between 122 and 130. Right now, I want to dominate 126. After I dominate that, I want to go to 122 while I still can, and then I want to go up to 130 because it's some dogs there. It's some dogs at 122. You know, shout out to all the girls doing great things. I just want to test myself against other great female fighters.
That part right there. Listen, the best. Bring them on. She said she ain't scared. 10 toes down. Now somebody did just ask, will we see a rematch with Skye?
Do y'all really want to see me beat up on Skye again? Like, was it?
Yeah,
well, it wasn't close at all, like they said. Like,
I'm about to do your move.
Yeah. The fact that, and you know, I was thinking about it, right? But then other people was telling me, reminding me of things that she said, and I'm like, you're right. She did say that about me. You know what I'm saying? You ducked me. I was her mandatory since June 2024, and she was allowed to fight 2 times, defending her belt, making all that dough twice against somebody that was not me. You know, and that wasn't right. It wasn't right at all. And she don't exactly. She doesn't even deserve a rematch. She doesn't.
There you go. That's it right there. She said what she said. Okay.
Shout out to Canna Local Sports. Canna Locals.
Yes.
These things.
Yes. Listen, shout out to everybody. All the sports outlets in here.
For sure, they're showing love.
Yes. Milton City Boxing here. I see you, my boy, with
Chat real boxing.
Real Boxing.
Yes.
Listen, everybody here showing love for the champ.
I
Yes.
appreciate it. I
I
appreciate the
love
love.
you. And make sure you guys go ahead and if you are new to Tiara, make sure you guys go and follow her on Instagram. And if you are new to me, make sure you guys follow me because I'm always interviewing some of y'all favorite boxers. You know, that's how we get down in Chevy's Red Corner. Great vibes, you know, and just highlighting and giving flowers because, you know, that's needed more in boxing as well. You know, giving the flowers. The media, listen, I'm one of those media who don't do messy. I'm not trying to be out here doing messy things. You know, it should be positive. It should be great vibes, you know, and so this was great. I was so excited about this and it's everything that I thought it was going to be. So thank you so much for taking the time out to interview with me today. And
make sure everybody jump on when we jump off here. You got to jump on the inner ring, Christine.
yes, and I'm coming over there too because I got to see because I know it's going to be dope energy as well. Because listen,
You know it.
she
You
raw
know
and
it.
uncut.
You're
She raw and
uncut. Uncut.
Yeah, so you guys see her in the comments right there. Make sure you guys go and follow her as well and support all the ladies and women in boxing. And with that being said, the WBO Featherweight Champion of the World. Thank you again so much. All right, y'all. She got Chevy Red. Jesus loves you. Chevy loves you. I'm not
Amen.